The majority of your contact with your clients and candidates should have less to do with vacancies. Ask them about their family, ask them about their kids. If you're into cars like me, ask them what they drive, where they go on holiday, what they do outside of work. And when they answer, you remember it. And next time you speak to them, you ask them about that thing. Relationship building lesson 101. The last time that we spoke, you said that your daughter had some exams. How did they go? You mentioned you were going to Portugal on holiday for the summer. How was it? Was it good? It sounds really small. It isn't, because what it signals to the person on the other end is that you actually listened, that you cared enough to remember that. And it doesn't matter if the only way that you remembered is because you left a note on your CRM, because from their perspective, they're not just another record that you have to call. They're a person that you genuinely know. I work in a highly technical niche. The candidates I represent are degree qualified engineers with 100 different agencies that are chasing them at any given moment. And when one of my team members calls them and says, "How's your wife? How's your kids? How's the new house?" They answer because nobody else is asking that. And when you talk about everything but recruitment, you become the recruiter that they want to talk to, not the one they have to deal with. And I want to give you two real examples, because I think this one is one of those things that is easier to understand through a story rather than an explanation. I sent a client memes about family life for about 2 years on WhatsApp every couple of weeks, and he responded every single time. We'd built a relationship over a long period of working together, and at some point, our conversation stopped being mainly about recruitment and started being about all the other things: life, family, the pressure of running a business. And we'd had a proper conversation. And then at the end, we just knew that whatever else we wanted from each other, whether it was work related, it would just sort itself out. And then when something funny came up that I knew he'd appreciate, I just sent it to him. Not a vacancy, not a follow-up email, just something that made me think of him. And a meme, a stupid video, like something that fit the ongoing joke that we had between us. And he told me one time that he was in the middle of the office and he got one of these messages and he started laughing out so loud that everyone else was just wondering what the hell's going on. And that's not a client anymore. That's someone who, when they have a vacancy, isn't going to call anyone else. The second one, I had a long-standing working relationship with a client, worked with her for years. And I found out that she was using another agency. So I just called her and I said, "I heard you've been talking to other men." As awkward as that sounded, like, she just responded with, "Excuse me." And I said, "I thought I was the only recruiter that you talked to." And she obviously started laughing, and we still work together today. That joke only works because of 6 years worth of working relationship. You can't do that on the first call, so please don't. But by the end of year 6, it lands perfectly because she knows exactly who I am and what I mean. And that call reminded her of why she valued the relationship in the first place as well. And then the memes and the jokes and the questions about family, that's not small talk. That's retention, to give it a business definition. When they feel that comfortable with you, they don't go anywhere else. Like those phone calls when a client or a candidate calls you to say, "Hey, can I get your view or your thought or your opinion on something?" They are the best calls ever. And then there are moments that go even further than the jokes, the ones that build something that you can't replicate with any other tool.